there guys, if you're planning on visiting Ho Chi Minh City, I would definitely recommend coming to Minera Hot Springs Resort as a day tour. It's only a 2-hour drive from the city, and it was by far one of the most relaxing hot springs experience I've had. We came here from Nha Trang and it took over 4 hours getting here, providing a relaxing midway point before heading into Saigon. The resort is very spread out. We had to take the resort buggies getting in between the reception and our rooms. We picked the standard option for our stay, leading us to the spring building. None of the room selections really stood out, so we went for the most budget option. The place felt a bit worn and tattered. The rooms gave more of a camping vibe out in the wilderness than a luxury resort. If you step out at night, there's a lot of strange animal noises and critters creeping by. I don't think staying here is gonna be for everyone. There's definitely gonna be some mixed reviews, but I enjoyed it being out here in the Vietnamese jungle. The rooms weren't that great, but looking past the rooms, there's a lot to see, and the hot springs are so amazing, it evens out to a fun, memorable time. After settling into our rooms, we headed straight for the main attraction. There's a smaller separate pool area free for resort guests, but we are gonna be trying the main pools that require additional fees. But guests staying overnight get a 10% discount. The price was similar to the hot springs we tried at iResort Nha Trang, $300K for admission and another $300K for a mud bath. Coming here, I was actually a little concerned it would be one of those expectation versus reality checks. But I'm glad to say this place exceeded everything I thought it would be. This place was clean, quiet, remote, and serene. The receptionist suggested we head over to the source of the hot spring first. We were tracking the smell of boiled eggs, and it became more pungent the closer we got. Surprisingly, the source is near a steamy swamp, attracting a lot of cold-blooded reptilians as their natural home. It's a great start before actually dipping into the pools to know where the thermal energy is coming from. The springs can reach up to 82 degrees. While most hot springs I've been to are based on rocks and mountains, the minerals here are different from the sulfur and magnesium you'd find in a lot of typical Japanese onsen. Here it's said to contain more silica, radium, and fluorine. Hot spring deposits on swampy plains is gonna create a lot of rich mineral mud, which is why mud baths are so popular in Vietnam. We are taking our first soak into the Vietnamese mud bath area. Inside it's quite empty, we have the whole place to ourselves. I was expecting muddy water running through the pipes, but the mud bath here is provided through a packet. Disappointingly, it didn't bring the same mud bath experience as iResort in Nha Trang. I don't think it was worth the extra $300K for just a packet of mud, but overall it was still fun. Next up, we are headed into the pools that features many different styles of spas around the world. They have the Greek-inspired bathhouses, and they even paid homage to the Turkish Pamukkale. All beautiful places on my bucket list I haven't had the chance to visit yet. Here we have the hot and cold sauna, and it appears to be a Viking-themed activity for wellness. The herbal spas were also interesting, adding in additional medicinal properties. We tried the butterfly pea spa and also the coffee spa. Sounds gimmicky, but with so much going on, it's creative to a point this place feels like a hot spring amusement park. There was just countless Instagrammable pools we didn't even have time for. My favorite part of this hot spring wonderland would be in the Springs Retreat. It had the most lovely garden to go along, but what we came for are the water jets that offered the most relaxing massage. The experience we had while in the trunk felt more like a water park for kids, but here it feels more private and exclusive. Not a lot of people coming into Minera Hot Springs, having all the pools to ourselves.
Vietnam! Vietnam!
The resort restaurant looks very stylish, but they don't serve dinner. The main pools close early at 5 p.m., but if you're staying overnight, they have a smaller pool area that shuts later at 8 o'clock. We had enough hot spring for the day, so we headed back to watch some TV. One of the drawbacks of this resort is that there's nothing to eat at night, not even a snack machine. However, there is a small town nearby, a 10-minute drive for local seafood. A private taxi can be arranged at the reception for $300K, which includes the round trip back. We picked out the highest rated venue on Google Maps. Could see some of the other resort guests already sat down. But what you gotta keep in mind is that English is not common around here. There are no English menus, so we had to use the translator apps to see what to order. We picked out an assortment of different seafood, but we were not aware it was served with the bang trang rice paper style Vietnamese cuisine. Lots of sauces, dips, and greens to be wrapped with. From the seafood we ordered, what stood out was how meaty the crabs were. Must be the minerals in the mud. Something special I found on menu was fried crickets. I never tasted any sort of bugs before, but my dad be saying it tastes like chicken, and believe it or not, it really does. A good source of protein to go along with my rice paper taco wrap. Early morning, we are headed for breakfast buffet at the resort. With the view of the pools, I wish we had more time to get back at it, because there's still a lot of areas I think we missed. Breakfast buffet was pretty good here. They had a fine selection of bread and ingredients like liver paste and processed meats to make your own banh mi. Vietnamese rice noodles available, but dim sum made everything feel like home. Other than the hot springs at Minera, there is also a lot of nature to see. We are walking into the Minera forest that features a huge flower garden with buzzing bees everywhere. I also got an idea of what's been creeping over the leaves at night. There seems to be a lot of reptiles around the area, but what I was most excited about was seeing the crocodiles. The crocodiles here are huge and look ferocious. I was looking forward into feeding them, but surprisingly, they didn't seem that hungry. I've seen a lot of crocodiles at the zoo, but this crocodile habitat gave a more immersive experience. The crocodiles here have plenty of room to swim and chill, and they look stress-free, relaxing like everyone else at Minera. We have probably 2 hours left until our car pickup for Ho Chi Minh City. But until then, we're gonna be enjoying some time at the Dara pools that's free for all guests staying at the resort. It's a very beautifully maintained pool area, perfect to wrap up our stay at the Minera Hot Springs Resort. Still lots to see on our Vietnam trip. Excited for Saigon and the big city coming up next. I hope you enjoyed this video and consider coming to Minera as well. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Peace and love.